I would say that the support groups first and foremost have taught one another how to be supportive with each other, how to listen, respect one another and one another's thoughts. They've opened themselves up because we tend to be very isolated along a lot of times. We don't really want to talk too much around people we don't know. But it's taught them to be able to trust other people and share what's going on with them, and be able to take some information and be able to apply it in their life. And that's a wonderful thing, because it's hard to, especially with women, listening to other women and taking account of what they're saying and applying it. We do sometimes think that we know everything, and we know our own destiny, so we don't have any information that we can get from anyone else, and they learn differently. And the other thing about it is that it teaches them how to, instead of dealing with people on the outside where they're coming into a place in person, they're learning how to accommodate themselves by doing it online through Zoom. If they don't feel like they want to show their face, they don't have to. It's a lot of respect in that area. But we also learn how to teach self-love. That's very important, and that's one of the things that I promote consistently, because that means everything. And by loving ourselves, we learn to enhance our self-esteem. We learn how to say no when we mean no. We learn how to mean what we say and say what we mean, and it teaches us about boundaries, what I would accept and what I won't accept. And so it has been a challenge not being able to be close to people, but we learn how to work it out, and that's a great thing.
Thank you. How about you, Jessica?
So first, I agree with you, Malika, as far as it being like a great question to ask. In my opinion, these support groups have been like everything, and as a survivor myself, it's been helpful for not just them, but for me as well. The girls that attend my groups, they were a little kind of not trusting in the beginning. Some didn't show their face on camera. Some, still were in fear of their life, or still, being sought after. And I'm so happy to say that today, every girl that's in my support group shows their face. They talk to each other. They talk to each other outside of groups, so they've been able to form relationships, which is something different because it's a choice that they make. The support groups have really reminded the women that they have a choice, that they have a voice, that they have a safe place where there's no judgment, where they can be transparent. And it's like a learning curve for all of us. I love my job because I'm able to really let them know that I relate. It's not just saying, oh, I understand. It's not that simple. Like, we get to break things down. We get to kind of, unpack a lot of stuff. And the groups are heavy. Some weeks we just have to have lighthearted groups where we just want to laugh and just process things. But then there's others where we're discussing like severe trauma, like the impact of the trauma. And some of these women didn't even know that what they were experiencing was called trauma. Some of them thought that this was just something that happened to everybody, but there's no one talked about it. So the girls are learning effective communication. They're learning to exercise their voice, to know that they matter. And I think that's like the biggest thing, is that we formed a sense of community there's no expectations. Like, you don't have to give me anything for me to be there for you. And it's not transactional. And so that has been huge and definitely effective in the groups that I facilitate.